Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Thrillcraft, a series in which I give you tips on how to build the most realistic theme park in Minecraft. Last episode, you'll know if you watched it that we built this lift hill here. So definitely go and check that episode out if you haven't already. I'll put a link in the card in the top right because I give you lots of tips on how to make sort of a realistic lift hill on Minecraft, and it's a bit different to how you may think. I also recommend that you go and watch that episode if you haven't already, if you're unfamiliar with command blocks, because I give you the command block sort of basics in terms of what you're going to need to know in terms of building realistic roller coasters in Minecraft using minecarts. Command blocks can be very useful for that, so if you're unfamiliar with command blocks and you're unfamiliar with how to use them in terms of creating roller coasters and how they can benefit that, definitely go and check that out. Yeah, also if you're new here, welcome to ThrillNet. Make sure you subscribe and click the bell to enable notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos, including any future videos in this series, and any more sort of videos in terms of real theme parks. You'll know I'm doing some Planet Coaster stuff as well, giving you tutorials as doing sort of a similar series to this in Planet Coaster, really, with Console Edition having just released. But today is not about Planet Coaster. Today is about Minecraft, and I'm going to be showing you how to build a realistic vertical lift hill. Last time we did a realistic sort of normal lift hill that you'll see on most coasters, but some coasters, particularly Gerstlauer coasters such as the Smiler at Alton Towers, Solar Ride at Fort Park, and Speed No Limits at Oakwood Theme Park, along with many others, have vertical lift hills. And obviously many of you'll know that rails cannot go vertical in Minecraft, so I'm going to show you how to do this using command blocks, because that's sort of the only real way that you can do this effectively is using command blocks, which is why the last episode is so important if you've not seen it already, because the basics that I teach you in that will carry over to this episode, and I'm not going to go into as much detail in terms of those, having already covered them, because I don't think there's any point covering things in loads of detail twice when there's another video on the channel you could go and watch to see it. Also, at the end of the episode, I'm going to show you a resource pack you can get that can make things look a bit more realistic in terms of vertical lift hills, and you'll see what I mean in a bit. And I definitely recommend that you go and download that. I'm not going to show you in this video how to get it, with Bedrock Edition being all across so many different platforms. Depending on what platform you have, it's a bit different. Obviously I'm using Windows 10. I feel like it just confused if I showed you how to get resource packs in Minecraft, and there are plenty of tutorials online to show you, and there's also one on the website with the resource pack that I'm going to put a link to in the description, showing it you on every single platform, which is something I can't do because I don't have Minecraft Bedrock on every single platform. But there's a tutorial for how to install on every single platform on the website where the resource pack's hosted, and it's really straightforward, so don't worry about it whatsoever. You'll see here I built a simple dispatch mechanism that you would have seen in the last episode, and you'll see we've got sort of a start of a lift hill here, which is going to develop in a minute. In terms of the command blocks here, I have a command block summon the minecart on a detector rail, which I went through in last episode. So when you press this button, it'll summon it. I'll demonstrate in a minute. And then, similar to what you will see in last episode, I've got a command block down here underneath a detector rail that places a redstone block, and that has got a delay in ticks of 100 ticks, so 5 seconds, because there's 20 ticks per second in Minecraft. And we've got another command block here, which is a repeating command block to continuously teleport the minecart over here, and this is what the redstone block is creating next to, and continuously basically activates this. So you'll see we have our execute E-type equals minecart C equals 1 to target the nearest minecart, and we're executing from the current position of the minecart and teleporting 0.1 blocks per tick across the x-axis. We're keeping the y the same, and we're teleporting minus 0.1 blocks in the z-axis to sort of follow this curve here. we're going to start off in terms of the vertical lift hill. We're going to start off with the shaping of it, which is pretty straightforward. I'm also going to do a demonstration for a drop on the other side. I'm going to do a beyond vertical drop demonstration, but yeah, in terms of the lift hill shaping, what you want then is sort of 2 blocks here, gradually increasing the gradient. So you see we've got 1 block across there, and then we're going to go straight to vertical from 45 degrees sort of to vertical. So you just want to pile up really for a little bit, and we will go to, where are we at the moment? That's a bit low. We'll go up a bit. We'll go to about speed's height. Probably about there is about the height of speed. Maybe there. Yeah, sort of here, around here. And then what you want to do is you want to go back to sort of a 45-degree angle. So you're going to basically place a block here and then go up like that. So there you're at 45 degrees. Then you want to build 3 blocks or so across the top. I'll just get rid of that block there. 3 blocks or so is around about fine. And then that's sort of the top. And I am going to demonstrate now. You could go into a normal drop if you want, because you'll know the Smiler doesn't have a beyond vertical drop after the vertical lift. However, Eurofighter coasters such as Speed No Limits at Oakwood and Soar the Ride at Thorpe Park do have a beyond vertical drop, which I'll demonstrate how to do shaping of now. And then obviously if you wanted to do a vertical drop on the other side, 90 degrees to be exact, you would just copy this shape here on the other side, and then you'd make sort of a gradient, obviously shallowing out a bit, sort of, you know, a bigger shallow on the gradient, because otherwise that would create some insane G-forces if it was in real life. But I'll demonstrate how to shallow out the gradient so it looks realistic after when we got to the bottom of this. So in terms of a beyond vertical drop, and that is the hardest to do with the 3 obviously, what you ideally want to do is you want to do another 45-degree section like that, and then you want to sort of go 3 or 4 blocks down around about that. I do 3 really. I just checked, yeah. So sort of like this, and then you want to go in 1 to create sort of the beyond vertical section like that, and go down around about 3 more blocks sort of to there. You want to build out and down again, and then you sort of want to go actually we could make that beyond vertical section a bit larger, because we got such a big lift hill. So around about that. And then in terms of this, you want to go vertical again for around about 4 blocks. This will vary depending on the height of your lift hill. For a smaller lift hill, you want to make this section here going down maybe a bit more compact. However, we've got a pretty big vertical lift hill here, to be honest. Bigger likely than, well, it's bigger than Soar. As I said, it's around speed height. Let me just double check how many blocks did I do? Oh, I did 4, so that's good. 4 there. Then you want to sort of go probably 3, I'd say. 1, 2, 3. Wow, this is actually a big lift hill, isn't it? Yeah, around about 3. Then you want to start going down to 2. You basically want to do sort of 1 block shorter each time, because obviously this is like a gradient shallowing out. Yeah, so a bit like that, and then we want to go to 45 degrees. Oops, there we go. So we're at 45 degrees now. We're getting there. And this is what I mean about shallowing a gradient out. You don't want to just go vertical and like that, because obviously that would pull insane G-forces if it was created in real life. And obviously it doesn't look realistic either, because you won't get people going like that in real life with, like, Yeah, because otherwise it would be unrideable. Because the G-forces would be insane. Oh, is it lagging there? Oh, whoops! I need to get rid of that block there, don't I? Right, so then we go 2 blocks like that. Well, we want to go 3 actually because we've got 2 there, and then we probably want to go out to about 5 or so blocks. This is actually still kind of how I built. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you probably want to go out about 1 more at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you want that sort of shape really. However, I could have built down a bit further vertically. I might just actually cut ahead in the video and sort that out quickly because I kind of underestimated how high we were. So I'll sort the shape of the lift hill out and come back to you when I've sorted that. Okay, I've sorted out the lift hill and everything's at the right height now. The bottom bit here doesn't exactly have to be the same height as that bottom bit there, but yeah, it just looks better if you do that. But you know, it can be a bit higher. Often Gerstlars will have a very shallow bottom to the drop, so yeah, and this sort of shallowing out applies to sort of all drops you do, not just vertical lift hills. But obviously from here we're starting from a beyond vertical drop, not just beyond vertical drops I should say, but yeah. And then if you were doing like less than vertical drop, you just start from like 45 degrees and copy that sort of shallow out pattern as I've done there, like 1 block further out each time. All I did was to sort it was extend this vertical beyond vertical bit here so that it was a bit longer, and looking back at it, it did look a bit short before. It would in real life be a bit longer, even though that they don't stay out beyond vertical for that long in real life. So I believe this is 1, 2, oh, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now, and I think it was, I don't know how long it was before. It must have been slightly shorter, but I can't remember. But if you're at a vertical lift hill around this height, going like 3 there, like we've done, and then 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then obviously at 45, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that pattern will work fine for you. But yeah, now we're on to the actual mechanism itself, and having done last episode, things are quite straightforward, to be honest, if you've watched that, because it's very similar to the lift hill we did before, but all we're going to be doing is lifting the minecart up rather than moving it forward. So it is the same sort of commands. There's no new commands here that you've not seen before. It's just that we're going to be using them a bit differently. And what you want to start off by doing is you want to obviously continue out the track from where we were, and then you want a detector rail here, and that is going to activate a command block underneath it, and then you want to basically make it so that the detector rail sort of slopes up, and then this block here is going to be the block that it lifts up on until it gets to the top, the minecart. So you're going to sort of go up here pretty much, but you can't have track there because teleporting minecarts upwards does not work when they're on track. They have to be on a solid block. So basically we want to move the minecart onto this solid block before moving it up, pretty much. So yeah, and then what we want to do here is we want to put a command block underneath the detector rail. I showed you how to get command blocks last episode, because they're not in your sort of catalogue of blocks, as I said, but you know, I showed you all this last episode how to get a command block. But once you have a command block, you want to place one there, and you'll already have a command block because you would have had to make the start bit I did, which I went through in detail last episode anyway, so I don't know why I'm saying that now, but yeah. And then what you want to do under this command block is sort of build a mini trench, which we can cover up later once everything's working. You want to build that 2 blocks down, no actually 3 blocks down, so you're at bedrock level if you're on a super flat world. And you want to extend this by, oh dear, yeah, I accidentally destroyed the bedrock. We'll just replace it with some grass. It doesn't matter that it's not bedrock as such. I literally fell out of the world then, but yeah. So yeah, and then what you want to do is place a command block there. You want to sort of place 3 command blocks. I'm going to dig these down. You only want to dig down once though, like that. You don't want to dig down the dirt there. You just need that, and then copy that pattern on the other side so that the command block's there, and then you want to place 2 command blocks like this either side of this command block. You don't have to dig down, but it's just the best way to hide the mechanism. But you want something like this, because what we're going to do is we're going to place a redstone block there. We need that to activate 3 command blocks like that. So anything sort of with 3 command blocks surrounding a redstone block will work. So something like that pattern would also work, but I just decided to build it underground because it's easier to hide the mechanism that way later on, because obviously we're going to have a redstone block here, so we can just place dirt like that and it's hidden, and then dirt over the command block. But yeah, so what we want to do now is take the coordinates of here. I want to take this coordinate because this is where the redstone block's going to go. So -1, 2, -27. Then we go up to here. I'm going to be using a set block command again, which I also demonstrated in the last episode. Set command, set block -1 to -27. And then we want redstone block. Again, I'm going to be putting the commands above your screen for Java. I will do that for the commands to show at the start as well, and they're going to be in a pinned comment in the description like last episode. I'm going to back out of there, and we want to put a delay on there, but I'll demonstrate why later, because yeah, it's easier if I've ridden it first before I demonstrate why you need to delay there. You'll still be rideable without, but I'll demonstrate why later, because it's easier if I like show you it in action for me to explain it. But yeah, so we want 3 command blocks here. We've got 3 command blocks. It doesn't matter which ones you set to what, but one of these command blocks is going to basically destroy the other redstone block that will be over here, and it's still active. Look there. It's going to destroy this one of them, because we don't want to move the minecart forward anymore. And if we don't destroy that one, the command we put to move it up will overwrite, and the minecart will basically continue moving forward and try and move through blocks and stuff. And yeah, that's not what we want. So we want to destroy that redstone block once we create a redstone block here. So yeah, and then another of the command blocks is going to be moving the minecart upwards, and then the command block, the other command block, the third command block, is going to be put on the delay and ticks for the amount of time basically it's going to take the minecart to get up the vertical lift hill, and once that delay is over, it's going to destroy this redstone block that's going to basically spawn here for the command block right above me. So yeah, essentially, the redstone block that's getting destroyed is going to activate this command block, which is then going to destroy it after a certain period of time. I know it sounds weird, but it's going to make sense in a minute. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with this one here, and this is going to destroy the redstone block and basically turn it to air, or if you're on Java, any block other than air, because you can't specify to set a block to air in Java, or any block other than a redstone producer, I should say. So I'm going to take -11, 4, -19 here, take that command and come back over here. I'm going to use this command block here to destroy the redstone block, so we're going to do a set block command, set block. That is going to be minus 11 for minus 19. There we go. And as I said, it's going to need a delay, but I'm going to demonstrate that later. What I'm going to do first of all, I'm just going to basically activate the redstone block here by placing the minecart there, and I'm basically going to place it on that detector rail to check that it destroys that redstone block, and then places a redstone block down there just before we continue. So I'll do this, and oh, there's something gone wrong here. Right, we've got a stray minecart, so what you can do to solve that is just type kill E, and that's going to kill all entities. So minecart's gone. It looks like we may have I mistyped something? Well, that basically placed down there, and that there must be a error in this command block. This is why you test, guys. This is why you test. Set block. Oh, I forgot to type redstone block. No, I mean that is stupid of me to do that. Right, that is why you test, guys. That is why you test. So let's check if it works now then. That redstone block's still there, so we can still test. Alright, let's test this again. There we go. It works. We're not got flying minecart this time. There we go. But yeah, now we're gonna go on to. I think we'll do the one that destroys it next, because then we're less likely to have a stray minecart just flying up in the air if things go wrong. So we're going to do the ones to destroy it. So that's basically going to be the exact same commands as we just did, but with a different coordinate. This time minus 1 to minus 27, which were the redstone block spawns. So I'm going to do set block -1 to -27, and remember to put air this time and spell it correctly, because yeah, you'll notice I made a bit of a typo there and had to correct it. As I said, this is going to need a delay. I'm not sure how long this delay is going to be yet. I'm just going to put as a test, I'm going to put 20 seconds, so I need to do 20 times 20, that's 400 ticks, because that was 20 ticks in a second. And there we are. And then last but not least, let's do this command block, which is going to teleport the minecart upwards. And will need to take the command here. 0, 9, -27 is where the minecart's going to be when we want to teleport it. I'll explain why we need to take that command in a second, but command is going to be, as I mentioned last episode, execute to tell it that we want to, when we repeat it with the repeating command block, we want to execute it from this position. As I said last episode, if you don't include this execute part of the command, it won't work. We're using an entity, so that's E type equals minecart, because it's a minecart that we want, and then C equals 1 because it's going to be the nearest minecart, like that. And then we want to best put 3 tildes to reference the position the minecart is at, and then teleport. Right, and then we want 0, and then we want tilde. Because we want to basically add a Y to it. The reason I'm putting the exact X and Z command in, you'll notice as I'm doing this, is because we want it basically going to eliminate the chance of it teleporting at the wrong place if it hasn't quite reached that block for some reason when it's moving. And it basically prevents sort of glitches happening later on. It's basically just to kind of glitch proof things. We're basically gonna have the minecart at the exact position when we teleport it. Tilde, and then we want 0.15 is a good speed actually, because that will be around, as I mentioned last episode, 1 block in Minecraft is typically 1 meter. And 0.5 times 20, because obviously 20 ticks per second is going to be 3 meters per second, which, as I said last episode, is around about 6 miles per hour, which is a good speed for a lift hill. So something like that will work. And then 29. And that's that. And then we want to set that to repeating. Repeat. And there we go. We can test things in a minute. I'll just check that I got this block right. Oh, minus 27. Wow, I got that really wrong, didn't I? Right, let's alter that. Otherwise, we're going to be teleporting it God knows where. Right, 0 minus 27. There we go. So that's all sorted now. We don't need to change anything down there. So now what we can do is test it. And now it's about working out what time we need to stop moving the minecart upwards. Because we want the minecart, when it finishes going upwards, to be here. We want it to be around here at the top of the lift hill. We want it to be 33. We want the y equals 33 is what we want. So we need to teleport it upwards to y 33. So we're gonna what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get in the minecart, jump in it, move it upwards, have it move upwards, and then hopefully, and then see where we end up. So let's press this button here, get in the minecart. It's gonna start moving forward any second. And I'll demonstrate now why you want to delay. You'll see when we get to this detector rail in a second. So you'll see that kind of like jumps there. That is because you need a delay, because otherwise it's just going to withers. Oh dear, are we going to keep going upwards? Yeah, 20 was maybe way too long. Yeah, 20 is way too long. We need about 10. Yeah, the reason we need the delay is because you'll see that sort of jump there. Because obviously it's teleporting from the exact command block. It's just going to basically jump to that block rather than just move upwards, or sort of smoothly go to that block. So you want a small delay basically to avoid it sort of just jumping to that block when it reaches the detector rail. So it's sort of smooth, pretty much. So what we want is, we want to add a delay. What should we add? I think about 10 ticks should do it. I'll test that in a minute. But something I actually forgot to mention down here at the command block is we actually need to add a rotation. Pretty much, we need to add a rotation because you'll see the minecart sort of went sideways, and the rotation you want, I believe, depends. It depends on what direction you're facing. So we're facing X, so we want, if we're facing X, to be 90, because we're facing this, we want it to be 90 or minus 90, or no, 90 or 270 is what we want. So we want to come down here and you add your rotation in after here. So we want 90. That's what we want. So we're going to test this, and hopefully everything works. Oh, one thing I did forget to do though was change this delay. So we're going to go to 200 ticks. Sorry. I'm going to jump in here again, and then after we've sorted this out, it's just the finishing touches to the lift hill, and then you're done. So we're going to get in here. There we go. Move along here, and hopefully things are a bit smoother this time. Hopefully. Yeah, there we go, 90, because obviously we're facing X. It would be like 0 or 180 if we were facing a Y direction, Y or minus Y, but we're just, oh, that's a bit short. It's 90 or 270 if you're facing, if it'd be 270 this way, I believe, and then this way would be 0, and that way is 180 for when you're doing your rotations. But yeah, rotation is something we didn't cover in the last episode. Just to recap, you put your rotation. And oh, I put 900. Whoops. Oh dear. Yeah, I think it just took that. I'm guessing it just took that as 90. I didn't realise I put 900, but yeah, 90 should be right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to basically to save this being tedious, basically keep experimenting with the delays for here, and when I've found the exact time I need for my lift hill, and it will be different for yours obviously, I'm going to come back to you guys. So yeah, I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I've sorted out pretty much what I needed to sort out. I seem to be finding that with this delay thing, having looked at it again here, I would leave the delay here because it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. I noticed putting it in. This command block here, which obviously teleports from an exact position, and don't put a delay here because that will delay between each basically time it teleports and basically make it really glitchy. You'll have the minecart falling and it will just look, yeah, it won't look very natural. So yeah, you need to be teleporting continuously or the minecart's just going to fall, and between each tick and it's not going to work, so you don't want a delay here. It's because basically this minecart, that obviously command block that teleports from exact position, tends to override this delay here, meaning the delay doesn't have much effect and it just teleports from that block straight away here regardless. But I mean, it still looks pretty smooth, I'm going to be honest. The other thing is, yeah, I kind of messed up putting that 900 there, obviously. It turns out that to face it this way, you actually need to set it to 0 instead of 90, which is weird because you'd think 0 would be north, but no, it seems to be east and west. So yeah, that's a bit weird. Yeah. That 900, because I was obviously like, thought it was 90 and I got it right, but it turned out I don't know what happened there, but yeah, you want 0 for east and west, and then for north and south use 90. Or that's 0 or 180 that is, or 90 or 270 for north and south. So this direction here, and then in terms of the actual delay for how long it needs to be before we basically set this block to air. I found that 230 ticks seems to work for me, but obviously this will all vary depending on the size of your lift hill, so yeah, it might not be 230 for you. It'll most likely be less because I've built quite a tall lift hill here. But yeah, now we want to sort out, so obviously we've got the minecart of the lift hill, we want to sort out getting it over the top of the lift hill. And then onto the vertical drop, pretty much. So what you're going to need here is you're going to need to use, obviously we can't place a block here because that would look really weird, but we can use something called barrier blocks. And what barrier blocks are is they're essentially visible blocks that you can only see when the block's selected, and yeah, otherwise they're invisible, and but you can actually place stuff on top of them. So we can place minecarts on top, or minecart track on top of them, and instead of having a block there, you'd literally have, it'd look as if we had floating minecart track, but it's actually on top of these barrier blocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this in my inventory, and I'm going to show you, because this is another non-obtainable block, a barrier block. It's another one you have to use a command to get, and you want give at self and then barrier, like that, and then you'll see I have this new barrier block. So I'm going to place these down, because what you want is you want a slope, because you want the minecarts obviously have momentum at the top of the lift hill. So what I recommend doing for this is you place a barrier block there, and a barrier block there, and up there. So like a normal slope you create for a minecart, and you'll see when we go off these barrier blocks they disappear. But what you can have is a detector rail there, and then a detector rail there. Get rid of that one obviously, so you're left with just a slope, and there you go, you got a slope. I know it might seem weird that we've obviously got this sort of slope here, however it's all going to make sense later. And in fact, having said that, what I actually recommend you do, and this will all make sense later, is you actually ignore that block and have it on this block. So yeah, what I recommend instead is that you sort of have this, build the barriers out, and then yeah, I recommend you go a bit like this, and then you build like that, and it'll make sense after why I've moved it up 1 block. And then obviously have the minecart up there. Considering this, I'm actually going to add some to my ticks. How many ticks I had, because we're going to have the minecart going up 1 more block. I literally just thought then, yeah. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing, guys. And then we have this light here. So you got a detector rail onto a powered rail, because we're not going to use teleportation for this bit. There's no need. Powered rails will be fine. We just need to basically push the minecart 1 block. It's going to travel along here and then go along there. And I recommend actually having basically another detector rail and a powered block there, because otherwise the minecart may get stuck on the edge of that block. You want it to make sure that it goes off the edge of that block. But yeah, that's the setup you want pretty much for the end of for the top of your lift hill. It may look weird now, but the resource pack is going to sort everything out that I'm going to show you guys in a bit. But yeah, now what we want, and it's going to sound weird, is we want to put some paintings up the vertical lift hill. This is, yeah, I know, this is all going to make sense after, don't worry. This is, again, it's a resource pack thing. I really recommend having the resource pack when you build a vertical lift hill, just so it actually looks good, because otherwise it could look very weird. And we want a certain painting, and I'm going to show you which one you want for all this to work. That is the painting you want, but you want it down there. So you want that painting there, and you basically want not that one, it has to be that one there, and you need to go all the way up the lift hill, basically adding these. And there you go, that's your lift hill sorted. I know it might look a bit, it looks weird, but don't worry, it's all going to make sense, guys, when we have this resource pack active. But yeah, that's your setup. And then in terms of the drop, obviously, what you want to do, because obviously the minecart is going to run off here, and it's going to fall down. What you want for each of these blocks here, you want to have a powered rail there, basically so the minecart flies off them, you know, so it looks realistic. It's going fast at the bottom of the drop. You want for every single one, apart from this where it's vertical, because the minecart's obviously not going to go backwards there. For each of these, and you've probably seen this before when you made steep drops, you need to have a powered rail. I'd use a redstone torch to power these because it's the most discreet. There's no real option for hiding it unless you were to basically create your own resource pack and have basically redstone torches be invisible, as I'm going to demonstrate later with the resource pack that's been created. You'll see what I mean. You can change the textures of things, textures of Minecraft blocks and stuff. So we want a redstone torch, redstone torch. So unless you create the resource pack to make these invisible, there's not really anything you can do, to be honest with you. It is what it is. So basically we want to repeat this for each one, obviously using our slope method and replacing the block and using a redstone torch. There we go. And yeah, and then after we've done this, that is the lift hill created, apart from the supports and stuff, which again I'll cut ahead and basically put those in to show you kind of the best thing you can do with those. I'm not going to include me building them because I don't really see the point, to be honest, because it's something you can see when it's all done. And oh, this what I recommend, we'll have to build that one first, with that only being 2 blocks. I accidentally destroyed the torch. So I'll have to go like, put the torch there. Put the torch, there we go. Put the torch like that. And then, Yeah, destroy that torch again. And then have that like that. There we go. And then place that back there. And then there we go. We're past the steep bit of the drop. We can just build normally for the rest of it. I recommend putting basically a few more powered rails like that to have the minecart get some speed. As much speed as you can get. And be careful because those obviously will lose power eventually. I'm not sure how far does it go. It goes to there. We'll just have it at maximum. There you go. You can have it run off like that. But there we go. There's our lift hill. I'll just test quickly that this works. This top bit. I won't have it go. No, actually, I need to test that it goes all the way down. I'll update my ticks as well. And then we can test this all. So we want this to be, I'd say 240 now. 240 should be fine. And then that might be slightly high, but you know, you can trial and error with that. I just want to demonstrate that this works, or I hope it works anyway. We should start moving in a minute. There we go. And then yeah, I'm going to show you this resource pack after this that you can have that's going to make this look a whole lot better. There you go. We're moving up the minecarts in the right direction now. Right, let's hope that this is enough. Come on. Come on, this is enough. There we go. Here we go. Down the drop. And there you are. I know I missed a rail there, so the minecart stopped. But yeah, there you go. It works. Lifter works. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to exit my game and activate this resource pack. I'm going to put for you in the description with the instructions. And then we can have this look so much better. So I'm going to go down here. And the resource pack you want, when I get to it, my packs, we want the all-in-one creator pack by someone called Block Coasters, who I actually learned a lot of this stuff from that I'm showing you today. He used his slightly different methods for some of the stuff I've shown you in the tutorials, but I felt the one I've come up with is a bit simpler, which is why I'm showing you this. And what this is going to do is it's going to change some textures. I'll tell you now. Or no, actually, you know what? I'll let you see for yourself when this loads in. You're going to see. You'll see that all the rails are now invisible. Everything's invisible. The powered rails are invisible. All the rails are invisible. And then if we come around here, you'll see that we've got a realistic chain lift. It looks like a chain lift. There you go. And that rail there is visible, that powered rail. But those powered rails aren't visible. It seems that powered rails with a redstone torch are visible. And hang on, I didn't know he had invisible redstone torches. I didn't know that was a thing of the pack. In that case, no, I really didn't know that was a thing. I mean, if they're invisible, I might actually come out. I'll stop recording and I'll cut ahead. I might take off this resource pack and come back and actually have these with, because the only reason I put them for detector rails was so that the powered rails were, so that we didn't have to put a redstone torch. Then it'd be less obvious and like it wouldn't look weird. But if, yeah, I didn't know that powered rails were invisible. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll basically cut ahead and see you guys in a minute. And when I'm also doing that, I'll add in the supports as well, so you can see an ideal support structure. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, so you'll notice that my lift hill is starting to look much more like a vertical lift hill now. You'll see we've got this sort of pattern here in terms of the support, with obviously this bottom bit here and then supports going out to the side holding that bit up, which you know, you see something like this on most Guzzler coasters. And then at the bottom here where the command block was, I've sort of built around here because yeah, I didn't really know how to do this to cover it up and make it look that good. But yeah, I've noticed that in Planet Coaster often they have something like this at the bottom of a vertical lift hill. Let's say that this is just a power generator or something that the tracks built into, I don't know, but it's probably the best you're going to get. And then with this, this command block here won't matter too much because you'll have all stations surrounding this, because obviously this will be a station, so you wouldn't need to worry about that one at the start or any of those down there. They would just be fine as they are. And then same with here, this one will be covered up as well nicely, just with the station naturally. And then yeah, you got this sort of support structure down there. And then as for the torches, you'll notice that I've sort of yeah, I've put like a torch under there, and then we've got similar with the other redstone torch being there, just there. But obviously they will turn invisible when I basically switch on the pack, activate the pack. There we are, with the invisible stuff all there. Let's just ride the coaster then one more time. You'll notice I forgot to mention I covered up those command blocks down there as well. But yeah, let's ride in this one more time. The minecart is going to spawn on what appears to be a block, but it's actually a detector rail because it's invisible. But yeah, we're just moving across blocks now. Yeah, it's a cool resource pack that I'll put in the description, this. And we'll definitely be using it a lot later on. And yeah, you'll see the minecart still kind of jumps to that there. But I noticed in Block Coasters' creations, he had the same. So it is quite a common thing. But there we go over there. And there we go. Yeah, it's just something you'll have to put up with, I guess. The minecart sort of jumping from this block here on the lift hill to here, but yeah, it's not that massive, it's not that big a deal. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you found this useful. I know there was a few bits where yeah, like the powered rails and stuff, but yeah, hopefully you get sort of the idea of what to do to create a vertical lift hill. And yeah, thank you for watching. I think next time we're going to do inversions, and covering those. I was going to do that at this episode, but I felt that, and you'll see next episode, that this vertical lift hill stuff leads quite nicely onto the inversion stuff. It's better to do it that way around than do inversions first, because inversions are a bit harder. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.